Good evening, everybody. All six. Thanks for being here. Oh, I see you, Seth. Good morning or evening. Welcome to the March meeting of the Clintonville Area Commission. Before we begin, I'll note we have 3 excused absences. Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Saucer, and Commissioner Platt all had work conflicts or illnesses, so we hope to see them back next month. If you're able, we'll kick off the meeting by standing and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do any commissioners have edits or additions to tonight's agenda? Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Great, thank you. We'll kick off with district updates, starting with Commissioner Moritz.
Commissioner Moritz, District 6. The only update is that I attended the DEER event. Organized by the city. That's later on the agenda.
Commissioner Ively.
Josh Ively, District 8. There were 2 vehicle pedestrian incidences this month on Morse Road. I have not gotten specifics on those yet, so hopefully a more thorough update on those next month, but that's all for now.
Brittany Bolton, District 5, no major updates this month. Commissioner Lotta.
All out of District 1. No updates other than to report that the South Clintonville District 1 Block Watch celebrated its first year on Facebook, and there are 183 members, so that's pretty good. They meet the first Tuesday of every month in that little tiny building behind Cup of Joe. If you're interested, that's it.
What time do they meet?
I don't know.
Oh,
7 o'clock.
okay, that sounds good. Commissioner Arnold.
Hi, Commissioner Arnold, District 2. So I also attended the DEER meeting that the City of Columbus put together, and then the neighborhood were just aware of the potholes that are happening, so that was an issue.
Commissioner Wyman.
District 7, Mike Wyman, nothing.
Commissioner Moritz circulated meeting minutes from our February meeting. Any comments, Commissioner Moritz, on those?
I think so.
I'll move that we approve the circulated minutes from February's meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Commissioner Miller is absent. I am going to go ahead and share a proposal that we received from a local Clintonville resident to help us get our website up to speed. It's in need of a lot of updating. Our document filing system and library needs a lot of love. And so Mandy Minnick, who is an active member with the Clintonville Area Business Association, and someone that I've had the opportunity to work with in previous community roles and think does a really good job and is very responsive, circulated this proposal that I shared with the commissioners. So there's background on her work and her recommendation. She's got over 20 years of experience in the PR world, and I think she would be a great person who understands our neighborhood, a great person to put some time in. She budgets between $600 and $800 to do this initial refresh. She's got lots of references here, and I welcome questions from anybody, but I think this could be a really great way to get us back up to where we need to be. And we have at least one resident from the Walhalla Ravine who's willing to help us continue updating the website once we kind of get back up to a good baseline, who's happy to help us post updates and things like that. So I think we've got a little bit more volunteer bandwidth coming up, but I would love to get over this hump. Commissioner Latta.
How much is left in our treasury right now through the end of March?
I'll have to look at that.
I feel like
I sent it,
It's
and
like $1,200
I don't
yeah,
remember.
it was like just over 1,000.
Okay. This seems like it's a good thing to do right now.
Yes, it's well below, it's $6,800 max. I
Seems like a
mean,
bargain.
it is a good price, I think, also for the work itself. Not at all. And so when I met with her, we talked about just doing the website, but she does have social media background too if we decide we want any help with that. That I feel like is a little bit easier because we just post news updates and agendas and meeting notices. The website is where we keep all our PDFs and our bylaws and our resolutions documents, so that's a little bit more meaningful.
Seems like we gotta use this money by the end of March anyway,
What
so.
was it?
Any additional questions from commissioners? Concerns? Any questions from the public? Yeah, Ms. Simba.
I would just like to say, I would love, I think having the website updated, I'm not a social media person,
Yes.
and I depend on the website, and every time I look at it, I go, why? Why? So, I support you spending every last cent you got on getting this up so that we can go to the website and get what we need up current.
Thank you.
Current, so.
Appreciate that. Yeah, not everybody's on Facebook and all the other things, so. The anticipated cost here is up to $800. Knowing that we have over 1,000 in the bank and it needs spent this month, I would like to move that we approve Mandy Minnick's proposal and allow her to spend up to 1,000 so that we can get the most, otherwise it's just lost dollars. So I would move that we approve work with Mandy Minnick for up to $1,000 to improve our website. Yeah, Steve.
Does she still have that leave money to pay for email service?
There would still be a couple $100s to pay for email service. I'm gonna be frank, I did not price out anything else since our last meeting on the email service. And I remember you looked up a certain amount and we said we might need more. The number, I can't remember.
I think it got into a few, it got into like at least a few hundred, for if you wanted lots of email addresses.
Okay,
And maybe that's, if you include in her budget email, or just tell her what's left, give her some sort of budget for email, and if maybe she can only do 4 emails
Okay.
out of it this time, and then next year we build more. So you do 4 emails, like you'd have treasurer, chair, vice chair,
Okay.
so.
so I'll amend my motion to approve contracting with Mandy Minnick and email hosting, so website servicing through a contractor and through the website host up to the remaining budget amount in order to spend it down in March.
I do have a review budget.
Oh,
$1,422.00. Or 7 cents, that's what I said.
great.
If you still have money, just have her spend it on stamps.
Got it. Is there a second to the motion to approve website services and email domain hosting serving? Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you so much. I'm excited to welcome Chair Foshi from the Green Team this evening with an update.
Whoop whoop.
Okay.
Does this get me on the camera if I stand here?
You can stand more in the middle and you'll definitely be on the camera.
Okay. I just have a few announcements. Events coming up in March. Saturday, March 21st is, it's called Kick Butt Columbus. It's a citywide litter cleanup event. And the Green Team is doing, it's for the ramps. That's kind of what we do here in Clintonville because that's a problem area. We're going to do the North Broadway and I-71 ramps. There's another group in Clintonville that always does Cook Road. But other groups are encouraged to pick an exit somewhere. It could be on 315, it could be anywhere. So groups all around town are doing this. But you can come to the North Broadway at 71 exit and hang out with us. Or the group that does Cook Road, that's Saturday. We're going from 10:30 to 1:30 at North Broadway. But look up Kick Butt Columbus and just come on out to clean up because it's after all the snow and everything. It's a great time to clean up. It's in March. Also, there's another event in Clintonville that's on Wednesday, March 25th at the Mennonite Church, 35 Oakland Park. This is for building safe green schools. and it's a roundtable event. It's kind of neat because we'll have school board Vice President Sarah Ingalls will be there talking about CCS's commitments to safer and greener schools, including a new recent project they did was putting solar on a carport. Good first step. And what they're going to do next. Also, Ohio State Senator Bill DeMora will be there. Should be a big event, so come on out and I have a bunch of flyers. And then the last announcement is not this month, it's all the way at the end of summer, but it's the 3rd annual festival. We do this Columbus Arbor Fest at Whetstone Park. We have the date set, it's August 22nd. And we're well into planning that. The team's doing a great job. Those are my announcements.
Great. Any questions for Chair?
Yes, do we need to prepare a resolution again for the city?
On Arborfest?
Yeah.
I think we established a fiscal agent and we don't have a fiscal relationship with it. And as long as Parks and Park has the space reserved, I don't think we have to approve anything this year. Do other commissioners have other thoughts on that or questions?
I think it was helpful, mostly the first
Get
year,
it started.
just to establish some kind of like trust and working relationship. But now that everything seems pretty groovy, Parks said they didn't need it anymore. That's the way I understand. But if we need to do it, we'll do it.
I also noticed ODOT crews out on 71 this week picking up trash left and right.
Yeah.
I mean, it always needs a lot more work, but
Right.
there's already an effort underway.
If it's on the ground, we'll come around.
Yeah.
The green team. People litter, and it's discouraging. Sometimes it feels silly to just constantly pick up trash, but preventing trash too, and just raising awareness, just doing the best we can. We like a clean neighborhood.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for coming tonight, and I'll just put in a plug that Chair Foshi had been very kindly attempting to down ramp his chairship this year and agreed to stick around for another year, and we're very grateful. But I think he's looking for some folks to maybe apprentice and learn the green team ways. You've got lots of volunteers, but maybe some more core planning team bandwidth would be useful, so I'll put in a plug for that if helpful.
Sure, it's worth saying. There's no limit to the size of the green team
Yeah.
because we need a lot of people to pull off this festival for one thing. But then we have a lot of other things that we do, and we can always do more. But I'll be here for one more year at least.
Yeah, Commissioner Lincoln.
With the school event, can you address their janitors? Because they have recycling programs, but the janitors don't work. They won't do it. It's 2 cans, they don't want to do it, they dump it all in 1 can, they take it out, so.
I've seen it. Any other questions? Would anyone like a flyer to attend this event? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, no, Indianola just started a composting program, and I think there's an article on it in the Spotlight. It just hit my mailbox on the way here. My husband was reading it. So,
3 cans.
yeah, exactly. We're running a little bit ahead of schedule. We have an item here. I've included a proposed calendar just for the sake of having it all on one sheet for ease of commissioners. We've met for many, many years the first Thursday of every month, but in an effort to help us identify holidays or other things that might pop up, I'm sharing these dates. I think I scanned most calendars as far as cultural and religious dates, and I think we're pretty set. We're okay not falling on holy days for most religions. I think July 2nd is close to the 4th. Maybe folks will be traveling that week, but unless we know we'll have a lot of folks out, we can approve this calendar. Does anybody have concerns? All right, I'll move that we propose continuing to meet on the first Thursday for the rest of the year. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. The City of Columbus, I know we've got the Department of Neighborhoods here, Ms. Biddles with us tonight.
Thank you.
All right.
I apologize, I was not at the Deer meeting. That was also the same night as University Area Commission, so I was there instead of the Deer meeting. But I did send well, Rebecca volunteered, so she reported back to me what went on, so I thought it was a productive discussion. It did mention that the Department of Neighborhoods is rebranding their Pride Centers because this was a Coleman era type of deal when they wanted to change the name of Pride because Pride kind of stands for a little bit something else right now, and so sometimes we get people to come to the Pride Centers thinking that we're representing something else, but we're actually, the city of Columbus. So the mayor's office is requesting all area commission feedback from the logos that were presented by April 30th. So I think I mentioned before, if you want to do that tonight, great. If not, we meet early in the month, so you can push it to next month, if that's up to the commission. Going to the fiscal year, it actually ends on April 30th, and I know that we've been pushing, get it, spent by the end of the month. Which you guys are doing an amazing job, by the way. It is April 30th, but they're not going across it. They're trying really to get hard. Because I remember last year, all of our liaisons was in this fiscal office at the same time, breathing down her neck to get these things processed. But with the P card this year, it's really helped the process of, I get an invoice from you guys, and then I go pick up the P card from the central office, and then I go buy it or go online and buy it. So whenever I can get an invoice from what was approved tonight, fantastic. I'll make sure that happens. Regarding the Pledge of Ethics, the city attorney recommended that all ACs, and this is a recommendation, update their bylaws to reflect the following statement: all commissioners serving on the Clintonville Area Commission will be provided a copy of the city's Pledge of Ethics. I sent that to you in an email. I also have another copy in here if you'd like to see it. Commissioners agree to review and exercise good faith in compliance with the provisions of the city's Pledge of Ethics document, which serves to provide guidance related to proper behaviors while serving as a commissioner. Again, it's up to you guys if you want to adopt that. This past year has been especially trying. It does not happen here. Luckily, that we've had commissioners with some very questionable actions take place in public and also against city staff. So they're proposing that perhaps maybe you put that in your bylaws, but also consider a condition of removal if you don't have that. I can't remember offhand if you guys do. Or removal clause as well. So that is just advice given by the city attorney. And I'm going to hold on the demolition application advice as new information has come forward regarding that, and I have forwarded that to my supervisor, David. And we discussed and we have agreed that we are going to address that with the city attorney, seeing that there was precedent set. And see what comes out about that. So that's kind of where we stand on that. Other than that, if you have any questions, I'm ready to take them.
So this isn't mandatory?
It is not. It is not mandatory. Nor do you have to sign it, nor do you have to swear allegiance to it. No, it is not mandatory. It is a recommended, but again, being a self-governing body, it's all up to you.
So we can make changes to this one.
I think so. I don't see why not.
Do you have some in mind, or would you like to
Yeah, well, that
discuss
third
some?
sentence down in the preamble, but is not limited to, I think that is way too vague.
Preamble, okay.
And I don't know.
Oh, but it's not, I see what you're saying.
I'm not sure how we would be disinterested. Disinterested voters. But, if this isn't mandatory, the city's not setting up some sort of ethics commission, it would have to be us. It would be better if it was some, third party, judging these things. Because it's just going to cause discord amongst the commissions.
I think this also has been brought up because we had some conflict of interest in other commissions that happened this past year. And so I think this is why, there's the various reasons why this has been mentioned and advised to adopt this, but again, yeah, it's up to them. And again, you do not have to decide on this tonight, because again, no rush. You can talk about it in a committee or whatever.
I know our elections committee was considering a code of conduct for candidates, and we're already under a code of conduct for commissioners that's separate from this. So I would like to sit on this a little longer and let folks consider it, and happy to bring it back whenever folks want. And if city wants to send anybody from, attorney's office or anything to talk in more detail with us, that's fine too.
What's that?
And could we have this apply to committees as well?
I'm sure you can, but let me clarify, make sure.
I will say we have a thin agenda tonight, so if folks have strong feelings on this branding, I would love for them to just share that tonight, because who knows what next month's agenda will have on it. I saw these come through email, and I just feel like a bigger font, easier to read font is nice. But I don't have strong feelings otherwise.
Yeah, it's basically 2 different versions of 3
Okay.
designs or ideas. So neighborhood partnership center, or the connect center, or the neighborhood center. And then how would you like that to look? So I think there's a couple different things to look at. The wording itself, and then the design. And I'll take whatever comments and you have that.
I have 2 comments, or 1 comment and question. I like the neighborhood center in terms of the name.
Do you mean this one, like
Yeah,
the bottom one? Okay.
on the bottom right. And my question is, why does there always have to be the name of the mayor on the top? Because if there's a new mayor, then you have to change it, and it always seems like a waste of money. We call it elections.
Well,
Do we have time for this?
However, the thing is that Mayor Ginther actually established the Department of Neighborhoods. And he's mayor, so I think we might get in trouble for not including him.
And it's not because of Ginter, it's just all the mayors do that. It doesn't make any sense to me.
And all governors do
Yeah.
it. It's Senate.
We had to design a sign at the airport that mayor's name was removable, so that you can switch it up. My comment is, I like the top one better because it's more descriptive.
Okay.
The bottom one could be like a rec center in a way. The middle one doesn't make any, it's so vague.
The Connect Center.
Yeah.
That's.
Is that a
I
bus stop?
presented this to another commission on Tuesday. They said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The Connect Center actually implies someone's going to be there all the time, connecting people with resources.
See, and some are. See, mine, I'm at a substation. There's nobody else there. But the Eastland one is, or the, not Eastland, but East Side one, they are going to have a center that is being constructed right now on the corner of Hamilton and Refugee, that they are going to have other services there that people can come in and access. But you're right, I don't have that in mind. Or really anybody else's. West Side is going to do one that's similar to that. But other than that, the other 2 really don't have that, and I agree.
And I was just gonna say, to me, as a neighborhood center, to me seems like an individual gets to go in. When I saw neighborhood partnership center, I was like, is that more for businesses? Is that's where I kind of tripped up. But I do like the one that you love, Mark.
The bottom right. Any thoughts from our neighbors?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Why not?
That I was glad what you said about the neighborhood center, because the partnership, it always offended me, because I'm like, no. It comes back to my beef about the city works for me. I am the employer. It's like my city because I live here. I pay the taxes. So I'm like, is there a reason they can't be a neighborhood services center? I mean,
There's no reason.
Is that, or does that make it too Is that too many words?
It's the same amount of words partnerships.
I actually like that better than anything up here because neighborhood center, it seems somewhat vague, like is it a rec center?
Yeah.
Or something else, or,
I like
is
that
it a
too.
bus stop?
Yeah, again, that implies that someone's gonna be there.
Okay, yeah.
You know, provide services. I'm fine with just neighborhood center.
Action center.
Stacey, can you
I
tell
don't
us
have.
briefly what's happening at those centers?
Save my shits.
Well, it depends. So these are just the readings of the Pride Center. And each Pride Center is very different.
Okay.
Like I said, my Pride Center is in a substation. No one comes there. No one wants to come.
Where's yours?
Mine is on 248 East 11th in the University District in Mylan Park. And yeah, so it's not approachable. I would love to see myself in a different spot, but I'm like the last on the list if that even happens. But there's other Pride Centers like the East Side one that is very connected. It's built to be very connected to the community and offer different social service resources. Ideally, we would really like to create something that was a one-stop shop for city resources and city services. But we don't have that right now. I think that we're moving towards that, but that's going to be a very slow move.
Seems like a storefront might be a better location somewhere, on High Street, let's say, instead of, tucked in there.
Yeah, that would be a great idea. I'll come up here, High Street, yeah, great coffee shops.
Or even like in the campus area,
You're absolutely, I completely agree.
If you're in the substation, where are all the archives of the Clintonville Area Commission? Have they fallen into a black hole?
I have a giant sterilite bin in my basement.
A bin?
No.
It's
There's a lot.
There's a big, maybe there are more, but I've got a big, 2 bins.
I
I
mean,
have
when
two
you
sterilite bins.
figure there used to be at least 3 file drawer cabinets out here in the library with all the historical documents, and those several commissions ago, you all were off the hook, but previous commissions said, oh, we don't need these.
I did reach out to the Clintonville Historical Society too about preserving our documents, so.
Of course, they don't have it,
They don't have an office space, yeah.
but you don't, there is not a,
Repository.
at the Pride Center, there is not, because that's where they all initially went when they left the library.
Should all
Legally,
be on the website.
legally, the only things that we have to keep right now forever is agendas,
Yes,
all of that. And then-
there's legal and historical,
Oh, I know.
and the historical documents is what is sorely lacking.
Here you go.
My only other request is when they start building new centers.
Yeah.
That they put elevators in,
Absolutely.
because I've been to several, that are 2 stories and they don't have any elevators.
I do know that the 2 that are being built are 1 floor.
Actually got in trouble for not attending a meeting on the 2nd floor. When I told them that there's no elevator, I was told that I should have made arrangements ahead of time.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's working for the police department.
The airlift it? Like,
Yes.
well, I think that's our feedback.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
I have just one more question.
Yeah.
Last month, someone mentioned Zach Lynn's having a safety meeting in May.
Yes.
It's May 6th, I believe, at the
May
North Side
6th.
Ring. May 6th.
No time or location has been
Oh,
determined
okay.
just yet, but yes, it is May 6th and it'll be in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll pass it on as soon as we know it.
Yeah, the block watch is asking.
Mm-hmm. That's the date.
I have a question.
Please.
Any updates on the traffic study for North High Street?
But I can reach out to Suzanne to see what she does. But she took the lead on that.
Thank you.
I know they did it.
They do it?
That's what they said. So I don't know the outcome of it.
We're very eager.
I know, me too. No, I'll reach out to Suzanne and see if she can find out anything about them.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
And she did email us, she had a conflict tonight, so. Any questions from neighbors for Ms. Biddle? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next agenda item is, we're featuring a local judge, Jiza Page, to talk about a summer camp initiative. She is going to 3 other community meetings, so I'm going to table her for later in the meeting. Do we have our representatives from Columbus Blueprint here this evening? Oh dear.
They want a half an hour.
They wanted half an hour. Great. Chair Hardwick, you are going to have so much zoning time. You can do all the zoning that you want.
Well,
Except for property zoning or.
except for the one I probably.
True.
Sure.
Where would you like to start with the,
Might as well start with the variance because we have applicants here, we have people here for that, if they want to stay for the, that way they can choose to stay for the rules or choose to leave for the
makes
rules.
perfect sense.
Yeah, this is CV 26005, 430 East Kanawha. How do you pronounce that? Kanawha?
Usually White always said Kanawha.
Kanawha.
She lives on Kanawha, so.
I should have said Kanawha.
I say canal and the spelling looks incorrect up there. I think there's WHA.
There should be an H.
Yes.
That's my,
That will not affect the vote.
I think I just wrote it wrong.
and this is the application we've never seen before, so it took a while to figure it out. Do you have the form up? Because the applicant seeks a variance to allow the alteration to the home to accommodate a small business operation. I mean, the
Are you
chart,
talking about
the home occupation.
this guy?
Yes, and the reason they need this variance is not because the house, their project isn't in zoning compliance in terms of height, setback, use. They can do everything that they propose to do in the building they have, but if you look at B there, of that list of home occupation restrictions, it says, no alteration shall be made in either the internal or external structure form of the residential building for purposes of home occupation. That they say specifically, you can't remove partitions, floors, even parts of partitions or floors. And so that's the only thing they're asking the variance for. Now, normally we say, it is true this runs with the property, but the city has assured us that that if someone wants to do a new alteration, that requires a new variance. So the house will be, and I just want to go through the rest of the requirements, because this did come up at the meeting, because I think some of the concerns that were brought are covered in what the rules already say. It's important to know what they can and can't do. They already can use the principal residence for a business, that as long as it's clearly subordinate to the primary use. You can't just, it has to actually be a house with an office, not an office with a bed in it. You can't, C says you can't, if you can see from the outside that it's a home office, except for one 4-foot square sign, it's violates zoning. So so someone tried to, I don't even know if an auto repair shop would be allowed, but if you could tell it was an auto repair shop, they're violating zoning. They can't use more than 20% of the livable area for the home occupation. No person, then this is a weird thing. Unless if you're an architect, attorney, clergy, dentist, engineer, physician, or surgeon, you can have one assistant. If you're anyone else, it can only be you, the person in the house. You can't store equipment that people outside. You can't change utilities, meters. No equipment or process shall be used in the home, which you can't emit radiation, create noise, glare, anything that would, again, in fact, in some ways that's more restrictive than what you can have for a house. No traffic shall be generated that's unreasonably greater in the neighborhood or different in nature than otherwise normally occur in that area. And they can't do wholesale and retail business. So all of these things, they are prohibited from doing. And I checked on what the sign was. If you look at it, it says the sign is 337608. When I pulled that up, and I should have had that up as well, that does include, that says the graphic area of each sign shall not exceed 4 square feet. The installment shall be limited to a wall or window sign at the ground level, the ground sign with an overall height of 3 feet, or mounted on a post lamp to support the sign. The ground-mounted or post-mounted home occupation sign has to be set back at least 2 feet from the right-of-way. It can't be at a freeway, and it has to be removed when the underlying occupation ceases. I thought someplace, it also says it has to be non-illuminated, one permanent non-illuminated sign. So there were some concerns from the neighbors. I think most of them, I think one of the neighbors is here. I want to speak for, were you here for this? No, I'm sorry. I think most of that addresses most of the neighbors' concerns. The committee voted 6-3 to recommend it for it. The 3 were most concerned with that there really isn't a hardship. To be fair, it's just they want to do a home office and they're allowed to do it, but they can't change anything to do it. I'm trying to make sure I get. There's one other concern that they had. One who wanted signage to be defined was concerned about future uses. The area commissioner Commissioner Miller came and gave strong support for it. He sent an email.
Yeah, he emailed tonight as well. I could share his comments.
Yeah, why don't you share that way? It's public.
Yeah, he said that. I can pull it up. The screen is bigger. Commissioner Miller attended the committee meeting last week. Several neighbors were present. The applicant addressed questions thoughtfully and explained the low impact nature of the proposed home occupation. Some of the concerns raised appeared to stem from confusion about specifics of the request and the wording of the code, which Chair Hardwick is walking us through. There was also discussion about perceived lack of hardship, which was just referenced. Commissioner Miller disagreed with that assessment. In this case, separating the living space from the home occupation is reasonably necessary to allow the applicant the private enjoyment and use of their property. Also seems some committee members and residents misunderstood the nature of their request. The applicant is not seeking approval for the home occupation itself, as that use is permitted by right. The variance is related only to the proposed addition to the home, not the approval of the home occupation itself. Granting this variance would not change the rules for future homeowners. Any home occupation would still be subject to the same regulations. Any additional variances or approvals would go through the same review process. The intent of the code is to allow home occupations of this nature, and the proposal represents the type of small neighborhood serving businesses that fit well within our community. So Commissioner Miller supports the variance request.
I think that adequately covers it. Unless you want me to stretch it out, but I don't think you
No, I see one of our additional speakers here tonight, Judge Page. We moved a little bit ahead because we were ahead of schedule. So as soon as we're done with this request, does the applicant do commissioners have questions for Chair Hardwick before we move to the applicant?
I have one question.
Sure.
So normally we do variance request for the height of the garage. Is that not necessary in this case?
because it's attached.
Okay.
They are compliant. This is the only request. And every other zoning rule they must comply with. Cool.
Welcome. Thanks for being here this evening.
Yeah, thank you. So, yes, it is, the home is attached. I'm Jessica Steiner. I'm with Prime Exterior Pros representative for this project. We'll be the contractors if everything goes well. But yes, the home is attached. I've already spoken with the city, differentiating between breezeway versus attachment. It's not a breezeway. Even if it was detached, we're coming in at 21 feet 4 inches, I believe. So we're underneath, I think 25 is the cutoff for variances. But yeah, so the Sweeties have been, I think you moved in 2020 around then to Clintonville. They've lived in the area, but this home on Kanawha. They've been 6 years, and his wife, Sarah, would like to run her esthetician business on top of the garage. As he brought up, they said the hardship wasn't mentioned. I think the hardship is kind of the current real estate vibe in Columbus. She is currently working at another location. Her rent has continued to go up, and it is going up to a point where she can no longer afford to operate her business. And essentially what the rent would be next year to stay where she is would be about the cost of adding this addition. And I know looking just with other rents, it's getting really pricey out there. And as far as, they want to do the home occupation, she wants to be close to home. They do have a 3-year-old, so doing it inside of their current home isn't really an option, given it's a bit chaotic with a smaller child. So we are just asking for this variance to alter their home so that she can run this business. It is going to be a small business. She only plans to operate it 3 or 4 days during the week, during traditional business hours, I think, 9 to 6-ish. She would see anywhere from 1 to 3 customers a day, and it would be one at a time. It's not like multiple people are receiving these services. We've got plenty of parking too. They have a 79-foot driveway as well as a concrete pad that already exists to the left of the garage. That is 20 by 18, but it can accommodate 2 vehicles. It's about 30 feet from the right of way, so it won't be impeding on any of those issues. But they want to stay where they are. They like being in Clintonville. They love their new home. They want to raise, their child, be a part of this community, put some roots down. But if, they're not able to do the addition, then they kind of have to reassess their finances if they can stay, if they're going to have to go elsewhere to find accommodations for the business, just with how corporate real estate is going right now.
Any questions for Commissioner Wyman?
I have a poly-sci degree. Can you explain what an esthetician is?
Facials, skincare services.
Thank you.
Any additional questions from commissioners?
Thanks for asking.
Any questions from, yeah.
Let me just add, she is a state certified and insured, and there is a inspection due within 90 days of us taking occupancy. So it will be inspected by the state cosmetology board. I think is what she's got in mind.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate that. Any questions from neighbors? Okay. Go ahead and prepare to vote. Commissioner Moritz, shall the application be approved?
Yes.
Commissioner Heisley?
Yes.
Commissioner Lotta?
Yes.
Commissioner Arnold?
Yes.
Commissioner Wyman?
Yes.
And I will also vote yes. Congratulations on your project and congrats to her on the business.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome to stick around. Do not feel pressured. Chair Hardwick, is it okay if we?
Well,
Okay.
If Judge Judge wants to speak, lawyer shuts up.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
No, it's not, it's here.
Yes. So I'd like to welcome Judge Jiza Page from the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas. She has information about, I believe, a new summer camp, the Justice for All Summer Camp, or is this one been around for a little bit?
It's been around for a little bit.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jiza Page, and I am a judge in the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas General Division, and I am excited to share with you all a summer camp that myself and Judge Andy Miller are hosting for young people in our community. It is called the Justice for All Summer Camp, and I have handouts. I don't know if it's easier to It is a Justice for All Summer Camp. It is for students going into the 6th grade all the way up to going into the 12th grade. And over a course of the week from June 8th through June 13th at Ohio State, the Moritz College of Law, we introduce young people in our community to the legal system. They will interact with judges, lawyers, law school professors. They will get a better understanding of criminal law, civil law. They will understand what it means to enter into a contract. They learn about torts. We had an attorney last year who spoke to them about medical malpractice. And so what we are trying to do is to give young people a better understanding of what it is that lawyers do, what judges do. They interact with the police department and Columbus Police as well as the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. We also do field trips to the courthouses, the Ohio Supreme Court, as well as to the Columbus Police Academy. I know it sounds like we do a lot in the course of a week, but it is a full day camp. Some of the great things about it is, one, our camp is free. We do not charge anything. We only require that they have their own transportation. So the law school is on the bus route, so they can take the COTA bus, and if that is kind of like the best mode of transportation for a family, we make sure that we have camp counselors who are there waiting for them to get off the bus and make sure that they get them on the bus. And then a lot of our students, either they drive, our older students, and we are able to provide parking for them, or parents are dropping off and picking them up. Drop off, the camp is like 9 to 4, drop off is 8 to 9, pick up typically 4 to 5. We provide a light breakfast as well as lunch, and our past participants will tell you that we have some of the best lunches of any summer camp. We typically will ask them what they want to eat for the day, and they say Chipotle, we get Chipotle. And so this is just, I I would say one of my greatest accomplishments since I've been on the court, being able to interact with young people in the community. Not everyone there wants to be a lawyer, not everyone there wants to be a judge, but what we help them understand is that it doesn't matter what profession you go into, you're going to in some way interact with the law. I do my best to follow our students. One of our first students from the camp when it was virtual is now in her first year of law school at Capitol. 2 of our students who have attended when it's been in person, they are now seniors in high school, so we've kind of been with them. They are both going to be graduating and attending Bowling Green. One is going into pre-law, the other, she's always wanted to be a veterinarian, so she's going into veterinary studies. But she has been with the program for 3-4 years, I believe, and even though she's like, I don't want to be a lawyer, we still make sure that we are providing just a good foundation for her. And also, we get into civics as well. The judicial branch is one of the 3 branches of government. When they leave, they understand the budget of Franklin County, they understand the City of Columbus budget, they know the 3 different branches of government and how they operate. So I just wanted to share that. If you know of any young people in your family, in your community who may be interested, please have them apply. The application will be available electronically until April 1st. There's also the printed application, which I don't know if that's the email I sent. For some people, it's easier just to fill that out, and if you send an email, I can get you that application as well. We are also expanding this year to have a different camp for students with developmental disabilities. This will be the 3rd week of June. The application process is going to be different. I'm working with the Franklin County Board of Developmental Disabilities for this program. So you won't be able to access that information through this QR code, but if you have a young person who you think would be interested, now we're focusing more high school age for this program, please let me know and I will try to make sure that we provide that information as well. But this will be the first year for this camp, the students with developmental disabilities, and I have seen, as well as other judges in our court, just an increase in young people who are being charged with felonies who don't have an understanding of what it means. So I had a case where a young guy, he has autism, he was on the CODA bus, someone was teasing him. He hit him. He caused serious physical harm to that person, and so that was a F2 felonious assault. Now he was able to plead that down, but just helping to understand that what happened to you was absolutely terrible. The person on the CODA bus should not have said those things to you, but the way that you responded, unfortunately, can have criminal liabilities. And so the focus of that camp will be a little different, but just helping overall everyone better understand the work that we do. But it's not a scared straight program, I can guarantee you. It is fun. We want to make sure that they enjoy themselves, and it's a fun, safe learning environment. So does anyone have any questions for me?
Questions from commissioners?
That's fine.
I can't believe it's free. This is amazing.
Yes, so yes ma'am.
Do you usually fill up fast?
Yes and no. Okay. So I would say last year I expanded. I was able to get more money from the county. So we went to 75 kids. We probably had about 90 kids apply. So it was a small waiting list. And some students, as it gets closer to the summer, they said, we can't do this camp anymore. So we're able to pull kids off the waiting list. So by the end, there was maybe 10 kids who I wasn't able to accept. So we try to do the best that we can to allow everyone to participate. And if not this year, then next year, for sure, we definitely try to make sure we get those students off the waiting list.
I'll share this with the Indianola PTO to get out.
Yes, we have had students from Indianola, Dominion, I'm trying to think of other schools in this community. Maybe one high school student from Whetstone, but definitely want to make sure kids across our entire county are aware of it. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Judge Gage. Chair Hartwick, back to you.
Thank you. Let's see, the next thing I'd like to do is the committee voted to keep Michael Haw as vice chair. It's one of the it's very important he takes care of the minutes, the draft minutes, and when I can't be there, he chairs or comes here, and he's been doing an excellent job, and I think I'd ask that, I don't think the bylaws require ratification, but because he does have a formal role in reporting to the commission, give enough the commission should at least have a voice in that.
There's no harm done in us voting to approve Michael Ha as the vice chair. So I'm happy to vote to support him in that role. Any questions for Chair Ardo?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second
All those in favor of Michael Ha continuing as vice chair?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, thank you. Please thank him for continuing to volunteer.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for indulging that request. Now we have the fun part, the rules, and there aren't that many, I don't think there are any true substantive changes. We did,
I gotta download it, I'm sorry.
hopefully it's visible on the copy that you have.
Is this version?
It looks like we moved the area, that committee, which one do you want to look at first?
Whichever you prefer.
Why don't we, this is up when I use this, is I did verify to make sure we had, your meetings are the same as what you put up there. The only change I would actually put this is I realized we don't have the ADA notice at the bottom, we should put, but I thought this would be helpful for applicants as well as for the city, so that if, I'd love, for a while it seemed like we were getting applications just after our cutoff. And I thought at least if the city knew when those were, they could, if someone's trying to decide, do I want to do this today or can I put it off till Monday, maybe they should do it that Friday, if they can.
This is great. I mean, I know that we all know we need this bit, but I think these resources are types of things our new website will do well to have posted on them.
And, you know, we went through March of next year for us and April for us. You see in our draft rules, and that's just in case there's some issue in reappointing the committee. There is a date set for an extra committee meeting.
It's great.
Yes, it gives you some freedom if there's a problem that needs to be delayed. You probably approve these at the same time as the minutes. I think we should also ask these to be sent to the city attorney so that if they have problems, they can speak now or hold their peace for 2 weeks. And the committee, we moved, looks like we added that, but we didn't, we moved further down because someone noted that I referred to the zoning email list in the next paragraph, so they thought we should define that term first. And scrolling down, and that's where you see where we moved it from, crossed out this year's dates and putting in next year's dates. So most of these things stay the same. 12, yeah, the chair must receive that. And the reason we said 10 days is Sunday, so why not just say, change it so it's clear that it's Friday, that way people don't think, well, because we have till Monday or not. Ends up effectively being the same, but it's less mistake. I think we just said those seconds, any committer may seek to amend the motion. We didn't think there's reason to limit that. I just added, is it say that give Michael 14 days from the meeting from when we approve the minutes to get them to our tech person instead of 5. I think that's, given a volunteer, that's reasonable. And we added, for people who could make a presentation, we added vice chair member or member designated by the chair. And that's just as the committee chair or co-chair aren't available, we can designate anyone to present to the commission.
And I don't think that's ever happened.
I don't think it came close. I think it always came close once Mike and I had something and Michael was supposed to.
Does that 14 days give the vice chair here and the commission enough time to put together an agenda?
Oh, that's the final minutes.
Okay.
That's the final minutes. That's 14 days. And right now he's at, I think the rule says he has until Tuesday. that's, if you need it sooner, he could target, but he's had trouble. It's a volunteer job, and he's trying to fit it into his work.
This is very appropriate.
Okay. We're
Because
trying.
I've been using the agenda basically to put together our agenda. I use your agenda,
Okay.
whatever's in there.
And that process wouldn't be touched. This is
Okay.
just the final version of their minutes being publicly available.
I see.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Then obviously we changed the top where it says approved by committee, which says adopted by the commission tonight. And these are bylaws, you can change them at will. So if something doesn't work, you can change it next meeting and it's effective immediately.
Great. Do any other commissioners have questions for Chair Hardwick? I appreciate the, I think that it's safe to say that we are leading the way thanks to your leadership on creating these among area commissions around the city. And just really appreciate the amount of work that you and the committee put into keeping us humming and having very clear and transparent guiding documents. So I'm grateful for the work going into this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from neighbors? All right. Do we want to approve? Do we need to? We could go ahead and approve them. I'll move that we approve the proposed zoning and variance committee rules and proposed cutoff dates for filing. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Thank you so much.
Who do I send that to?
You can send it to me. I'll keep everything together for our website fix. I'll just have a dump session with Andy and we'll get it all up there. I'm going to go ahead and pass over the ethics pledge edition because we covered that during our city updates. Unfortunately, I was out of town for a family emergency during the deer meeting, and I'm very bummed out because District 5 has a lot of folks impacted by deer and a lot of strong feelings about deer. I would love to hear, I know Commissioner Arnold was there, were any other commissioners, Commissioner Moritz? If the two of you wouldn't mind sharing updates from that meeting, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, so they had overflow, very great attendance, and the city reported that the Clintonville neighborhood was very passionate about the deer and had more response than any other neighborhoods due to all the nature elements that we have in our area. So they set it up to be a round robin type discussion. So they talked about whether it would be a citation if somebody was seen feeding deer. That was one avenue. The second was, and Mark, you can help me if I'm saying this wrong, then culling the deer would be for neighbors who may be vetted with either bow and arrow or rifle, that they could take care of the deer, set up some sort of protocol where neighbors could help cull the deer, or you could do it. The third option was to hire a professional team to do that. So the discussions were kind of where people wanted to go, and then I'll turn it over to you for your feedback.
So it was great attendance and lots of shout outs to the Clintonville Area Commission, organized by Stacy and Suzanne getting this together. So we got a presentation from the professor at Ohio State, whose students did the capstone, did the survey, analyzed the data. Indeed, so we sat still, they rotated, different experts. They were very good at explaining. They had lots of experience. They did all the pros and cons. They were very knowledgeable. There was lots of opportunity for questions, and there were lots of questions. There was enormous engagement of the residents. One of the things that made clear is that this was an informational meeting, so it didn't mean that anything would happen. There was all these costs and benefits to these different options. But I thought it was very, they did a really great job in terms of they answered all the questions patiently and then gave examples. Because they had so much experience, you can say, this is what happens in other cities that have done this, this is what happens in other places.
So yes, neighbors were very engaged, asked really great questions, gave examples of what was happening in their neighborhoods or things that they had heard about, and it was both sides of it. You know, you want to be kind-hearted to deer, and also you need to be careful with car damage, damage to small animals and that sort of thing. So I think both sides became aware, I shouldn't say both sides, the spectrum was really brought up about how people's experiences and their reactions. So that was a great way to have communication.
Were there any next steps? Will there be another meeting? Any thoughts on, I know city's in budget mode right now.
It's going to the city council at some point, but they were very clear that they were non-committal to anything.
Yeah, more information seeking.
But I think it was part of the process of indeed getting more input from residents.
Well, thank you both for going. I'm really bummed I missed it, and I appreciate hearing that there was a lot of engagement.
Did they say who was going to be issuing the citations for feeding?
Who was what?
Who was going to issue the citations for feeding?
They just likened it to if someone's garage wasn't painted, somebody would call 311, issue that, and then that was just sort of a suggestion that perhaps that could be that way. So,
A million years ago, I was tasked. City council wanted to do a no feed thing for around the reservoirs, people from feeding all the geese and stuff. Police hierarchy was not happy. They didn't know when to get out there citing grandma. Doing threads as a little kid, So it became my job of fighting that thing. So
I think the suggestion was code enforcement.
code enforcement.
yeah. Well, that's fine.
I was going to say, I feel like our police force is having a hard enough time attracting folks to do kind of their core work. So, any questions from neighbors about the event?
Yeah, I was just going to clarify that. Yeah, they have not established who would be enforcing that code if it becomes a code. So, yeah, I know that has been a discussion.
Do you know more about the next steps?
I don't, after that, because I didn't get to attend it. But I do know it's going to be, all of that's being taken back to council, specifically Councilwoman Diapro's office, because they're taking the lead on this, and they will be establishing the next steps. Like, what kind of legislation will be created to be proposed by council. So that's all I know, but let me follow up on that as well.
Chair Boshi's got it.
Hey, yeah, so this is Ryan with the meeting. This comes up in every meeting that we have. And it's also the front page story on this month's Spotlight.
Hey.
And there's actually quite a few pages about it. So there was the survey that was done that we've helped get the word out about for a long time. And it wrapped up, and so Clintonville responded. It was like 2/3 of all the citywide responses to the survey. So people care a lot about this in Clintonville, and we do need a solution. Worthington has moved forward with the deer removal program, and they're right there. So that will affect our deer population, surely. But the survey results are pretty clear. They're right here in the magazine for the whole neighborhood to read, that most people, a strong majority of people, prefer removal of the deer. There's just too many deer. So experts say 15 to 20 deer per square mile is sort of normal, and that's also quoted in here. We're seeing like 30, 40 times that much. So each deer eats about 5 pounds of plants a day, and that's one of the big complaints. People have great gardens here. Anyway, it's a complex issue, and sure, we should care about animals. This is the green team talking. We have too much deer. There needs to be a balance.
Thank you so much. I hadn't gotten a chance to read the spotlight yet, and I know from my District 5 area, like no one has a garden anymore because of the deer issues, and that's one of the biggest complaints I get from folks. And had somebody come and share that they've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on landscaping that's been ruined. Folks trying to do native plant screen things, they get deer resistant things. It feels like the deer are nothing is deer resistant anymore. So from my view of the Clintonville world, that's encouraging to hear. Well, we will, I am sure, continue this conversation and track any choices made by city leadership, and we continue to share out information, and engage community as much as we can on this topic. I don't think I've seen anybody come in from Blueprint. I think you've all been here this whole time. We're moving on to public comment. I feel like I see NCIL maybe, or is there anybody here for public comment tonight? No? Any commissioners want any additional topics covered this evening? In 6 years, this is the earliest we've ever finished. This is a reference.
Don't say anything.
No. Okay, well, for all of the commissioners, we are going to meet with the Clintonville Rotary Club again on Saturday the 14th at 8:30 a.m. Last time we met at the Global Gallery Coffee Shop. I think we're going to meet at the CRC Annex, but I'll confirm with Dave Unger, who's running the Rotary Club, and help steer the meeting.
That's what I was talking about last time. Was we're going to meet seriously.
But I think he was going to reach out to Stephanie and confirm.
They have
So
a key.
they have a key. Oh,
The
we'll
Rotary
just go
have
ahead.
a key.
Perfect. So we'll be at the CRC Annex, it sounds like, unless they have conflict of ordering. The last meeting we had was largely around traffic and speeds, and I anticipate that is the bulk of what we'll talk about at this upcoming meeting, but it's open to the public. It's really a planning session to try to help build more community leadership, cross-pollination between organizations and share information across Rotary to Kiwanis to the Lions Club to the Area Commission and beyond. So all are welcome.
Do we know if other organizations have already been invited?
No, I'll reach out to Dave this weekend.
It's nice. We got an email just kind of reminding us the time and
Yeah.
space and all place on that.
Yeah, I'll have to do that since it's a public meeting. We'll have to do it notice anyway, so I'll make sure that goes out. Great. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a nice meeting. Good evening.
So
Pleasure.